Hey everybody, my name is Ed. New comic book day. Today we're back to something halfway classy again. We're back to our Foster's beer. Um, Not too many Marvel comics this week, mostly DC and Independents, and we'll just jump into it. So, without further ado, first thing I got here is Jessica Jones, number 4 by Brian Michael Bendis, and the artist by Michael Gatos. The variant cover is by Jeff DeCal. I gotta say, I was a little bit disappointed with Jessica Jones number 3. Number 1, I liked a lot. I liked the premise of the story. I like the whole setup where she's just gotten out of jail. We don't know why she's been in jail. The baby's missing. We don't know what happens to her baby. Luke Cage is looking for her. She also takes on this case for this woman who has this crazy husband and she doesn't know what's going on with her husband who insists he lives this completely different life. And yeah, I thought it was a great setup. But by the time we got to issue 3, I'm sorry, excuse me, we started getting those typical Brian Michael Bendis deconstruction, uh, talking heads that don't go anywhere. Basically, in that issue, she had been captured by this campy villain called the Spot, and he's taking her to this place, and she meets this other mysterious woman, and that woman is kind of telling her, hey, yeah, I can help you out if you help me out. And that's basically it. Like, nothing happened. You had a 20-page comic book that had maybe 4 or 5 pages of actual plot in it, and the rest of it was this dialogue that really went nowhere. So I'm hoping it picks up here. So just flipping through it, it looks like a few things do happen, but yeah, last issue we were back to that. It was a whole thing that people always make fun of when they make fun of Brian Michael Bendis. So okay, got Deathstroke number 10 by Christopher Priest, and the art now is by Gary Nord. A really interesting thing here with Deathstroke has been captured. He's being interrogated by the authorities, and there's this whole other thing where his son Jericho, who has superpowers, is getting caught up in other shenanigans or whatever. So really interesting. I don't like the artist as much as I like the artist of the previous art, but it's a little bit rougher and a little bit scratchier looking. It's not bad, but I prefer the previous artist style. So there's that. Wonder Woman number 14. This is the end of the year 1 arc. This is Greg Rucka writing and the artist Nicola Scott. Yeah, I guess that's it. It's the end of year 1 story. I think Nicola Scott is going to move on to other projects. I think she's leaving this title. I've really been enjoying it so far, and I've actually liked the flashback part a little bit more than the current storyline. But it'll be interesting to see where they go with this title. I think it's still going to be double shipped, and I think it's still going to be alternating storylines. So, okay, all right. Rebirth Superwoman number 6 by Phil Jimenez and who else? It's really hard to find. Here we go. Halfway in the friggin' comic book, there's where the credits are. Phil Jimenez, and the layouts are, like, the writing is by Phil Jimenez, layouts Phil Jimenez, and the finishes are by Matt Santorelli, and yeah, and then pencil and inks pages 14 to 19. This is I'm really surprised at how much I like this comic. Basically, it looks like we're coming to the climax of the tale with the whole Lex Luthor's sister and Bizarro women and whatnot. And yeah, like I said, I'm really shocked at how much I actually really like this comic book. It's really dense though, and it's really fun. A lot of things are going on, and I I guess I don't know what else to say about it. It's that I really find it interesting and intriguing with all the characters. There's Lana Lang, there's a ghost of Lois Lane, John Henry Irons is in it, other people are in it, Lex Luthor, of course, is in it as well. So yeah, that's the funny thing. I think I said it was dense. You know, I always have to like kind of like make myself read it, um, to kind of get everything that's going on. But yeah, Nito King. Also got Rebirth Vixen #1, Justice League of, well, actually, it's Justice League of America Vixen, DC Rebirth #1. Uh, this is written by Joe Orlando, and the art is by, oh man, I know it says on the cover. Oh, here it is. At at the end of the fucking comic again. Okay, Steve Orlando and Jody Hauser, co-writers. Jamal Campbell, art and color. And yeah, here we go. All right, basically, it just looks like it's an origin story. It's pretty interesting. I don't know how many people know this, but DC created this character back in the mid 70s, and they had actually planned on giving her a solo title like around 75, 76, something like that. But the DC implosion happened where they had to make these massive budget cuts, and a lot of titles that were done were canceled before they even came out. But if they had come out with the Vixen comic when they originally planned to, she would have been the first black female superhero comic to have her own solo. But okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else interesting I want to say about it. I'm not too sure. I know there's that. I know the characters appeared in a couple of live action shows. I'm not sure. Was it Legends of Tomorrow or The Flash, something like that? I don't watch either of those shows, so I really don't know. And I know there's the web cartoon they've got going on, so it looks like they're trying to do some things with the character. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to actually, if they actually do follow through and give her own solo. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh, here's something I should point out. I was talking about the how dense the Phil Nemes comic is. So check out. Here's the Vixen comic, and check out some of the layouts. Okay, he's basically using like, you know, about four to six panels per page. You know. Now check out Phil. Phil's like cramming as much as he can get into every page. It's like 8 or 9, sometimes 10 panels per page. So yeah, it's just like tons of stuff just kind of smushed in there. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. I mean, I was saying one thing is good or one thing is bad. I just thought it was interesting. You know, it's just, excuse me, just another interesting way that you can use comics to tell a story, you know, so there. Okay, so next thing is, let's look at this. We got Stray Bullets #20 by David Lapham. This issue is another one of those dream issues, and I don't like these as much as I like the solid plot stuff. Basically, last issue, Amy and her gang were on the run, and they'd gone to their Amy's mom's house, and obviously she and her mom have this weird, contentious relationship, and then of course she and her boyfriend or whatever are up to some crooked stuff themselves. And I actually kind of wanted to see a little bit more of that. Um, the dream issues are interesting, but they're just not as fun and gripping for me as, like I said, the crime thriller stuff. So, all right. We next is Moonshine #4, Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Rizzo. Been enjoying this. Basically, it's a story that combines Prohibition era gangsters and werewolves. And the way the story's been laid out so far, Basically, we have this guy who's come from like New York or whatever, and he's gone down south. He's trying to hook up a deal with these kind of backwoods liquor makers or whatever. And while he's in there, he's got problems with the town people. He's got problems with the guys he's dealing with. Everybody's suspicious of everybody else. And meanwhile, strange murders are like occurring, and and the main guy seems to be having these blackouts and whatnot. So I think we can kind of guess what's gonna come up, what's gonna happen next, or whatever. As far as that's concerned, dude waking up with bloody bodies around and whatnot. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. I've been having lots of fun. So right on. Next is Die Kitty #4 by Dan Parent. Basically, it's kind of a parody of Archie comics and Harvey comics. And yeah, it's just fun. It's just a really fun spoof comic. It's pretty interesting. The opening few pages are always this fake retro old kitty comic from wherever. This one is from the mid '80s, and you can kind of tell, even if you couldn't tell by it saying there, you can tell by everybody's kind of funky '80s hairdos and whatnot. And here's a character that's probably supposed to be little hot stuff. Here's spoofs of Richie Rich and Casper and Friendly Ghost drunk and having a fight at somebody's wedding. Wedding comics were big in the late '80s. Superman gets married, or no, actually I take that back. Spider-Man gets married in the late '80s. Superman didn't get married to the early '90s, but that sort of thing. Here's Kitty wearing her leg warmers and whatnot, and then we go back to the present, where basically Kitty is the star of her own comic, and the comic book editors are trying to kill her to boost sales and stuff like that. So, not a super deep comic book, but it's pretty fun and pretty interesting. So, yeah. And I also got Richard Corbin's Shadows on the Grave #2. I think I just bought #1 last week and really enjoyed it. So, yay for #2. Okay, so that's basically it. Gotta thank you very much for watching, and you guys have a good day.